All right, folks. I went ahead and did when I did my TS Daily Bible Study tonight. It ran long. I don't know. The Holy Spirit just got a hold to me, and I'm a different. I sort of carry myself as a different persona because it's this channel is more of the hobby of trolling the Antichrist and waiting on this deadly wound. We expose the world around us on this channel, where the other one is teaching the truth of God's word. So it's one's world and the other's word. So this is telling truth about the world around us, and the other one's telling truth about TS Daily Bible Studies is telling the truth in God's word. Word, world, world, word. But I decided to also share it here with y'all on this channel, and so it will take a while to load. But I wanted to also go through my prep with you. It is not long, and I came across something on We Seek, We Find, and I don't know what to make of it. I did a little research on it. So the guy is singing, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius," right? And
Jupiter aligns with Mars, just like it did. Here, space weather, it'll tell you.
So we do know that Jupiter must align with Mars. And
this is a great week to wake up early and look at the planets. They're all aligned. Jupiter align. We'll steer the stars. That's how 97. Hercules. Yep, you see? And yep, you see, Disney movie. Check it out.
So the planets are going to align. And I think he says that this goes down on June 24th, I think, which is that it's called the Planet Parade. So such planet parades will take place in 2022, 2040, and 2854. Well, I'm looking at them now, and you've got Taurus, you got Pisces, but so Mars and Jupiter are about to be aligned up. That's what the song was about, and that is something. Mars moves a little slower, so I'd say in about 25 to 30 days from now. I can't remember, but Venus, Mercury, a little fast, a little bit faster than our days. Venus, I think, if I'm not mistaken, moves almost in line with our days. And then Mars slower. So how long, theoretically, then Jupiter's going to move to 29, and it might line up at first degree of Aries. So how long would it take to go from 15 to 29? Well, it wouldn't take 14 to 15 days because it moves slower than a day. So 50 days, 40 days. And they say when it happens, well, I need to speed this up.
So they're all going to line up June 24th, which means June 23rd.
June 24th. So I was right there at it, wasn't I? Not bad.
24th, which means June 23rd. June 24th, which means June. So they're all going to line up June 24th, which means June.
Now that's a lot of stuff lining up. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing everything he's got there lining up. Because over here, your Pluto is Capricorn, Neptune, Pisces, Uranus, Taurus. These planets move so slow. These wandering stars, we have to remember they're all just right above us. They're lights in the sky, probably placed inside the firmament, because they do look like they're like almost underwater. And that's speculation. I mean, let God be true and every man a liar when it comes to that kind of stuff. So Neptune and Uranus are not going to be. Pluto and Uranus are already, I'm sorry. So Capricorn, Pisces, Taurus, then Saturn's in Aquarius. As slow as these all move, how are they going to line up? I got the Jupiter and Mars thing. That's what's going to line up. They're going to line up right at the beginning of Aries, which is close to Taurus. Taurus comes after Aries. Pisces comes before Aries. So I get it. They will be, you know, almost sort of, when you look in the sky, I could totally get how they would look, you know, like they're aligned. What is the Planet Parade 2022? Boy, that didn't go over very well. During the last week of April 2022, a rare and unique planet parade will take place when Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will line up in the eastern sky around 1 hour before sunrise. Well, first of all, that doesn't sound like June 24th, does it? What planets will align in 2022? Throughout April and May, there are multiple opportunities to observe planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus in the sky from the north. They will, yeah. That you like we said, they're right above and below each other, so we get that. Okay. But why did he say June? Because, you know, we're always looking for that deadly wound day. Well, what if it was when all the planets aligned? Anyway, there it is. A Bible study too powerful not to share with each of you. See description below. And yep. Yeah, and I said, go ahead and sub to the channel. Why not? Most of the studies, you know, are only 5 to 10 minutes long. But again, tonight's was good. It was deep. You be the judge. And so, yeah, check it out. I would love for all of y'all that are on here, you know, to check out the study, you know. We kind of went over, well, it's, you know, it's the Revelation 13. And yeah, let me check one thing real quick. Yeah, anyway, that was concerning the Bible study. So about this lining up.
23rd somewhere, which means June 23rd somewhere in the world. That lovely 9/23 date that I love so much.
Okay, let me search that hard one more time. Planet Parade on June 24th, because I keyed in the 23rd, so it's the 24th, which is when the tower fell last year. Planet Parades. So that's his article that he was reading from. It's the same one the site We Seek, We Find was reading from. And hang on, let me find what we need. Mini planet parade, 3 planets, small planet parade, 4 planets, large planet parade, 5 or 6 planets. Okay, got it. Okay, so we had some in 2020, some, well, one in 2020, or a few in 2020, and then 2021. And it says, the stargazers will have a chance to enjoy a breathtaking planetary parade of the second type in March 2022, 5 planets of the solar system: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Okay. However, the observing conditions will be unfavorable for the astronomy lovers from some of the parts of the globe. If you miss out on the planet parade in March, try your luck in April or June, when other alignments of planets will occur. So June 24th, 2022. Let's take a brief look. So there's 28th. There's April 20th. So let's look at the one that's coming up. The final and most spectacular, okay, of the planet parade of the year will take place at the end of June on the morning of the 24th. Observers will see all the planets of the solar system aligning in the sky. Only 5 of the planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, will be visible to the unaided eye observing. Dim Neptune and Uranus requires binoculars. The planets will extend from east to south, north to east in the southern latitudes across the sky, so you definitely won't see them all together via optics. Observers from the southern hemisphere will again have a better view. The planets there will rise earlier and climb much higher. The additional bonus of the last quarter moon shining between Venus and Mars, it will be slightly out of the planetary line, traveling from planet to planet during the latter half of June. So anyway, you know, I brought that up. Well, that really jacked my eyes up reading in that dark color. I got to get my eyes back. I'm just like, ugh. So could this have something to do when Trump goes down? This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius lyrics. Aquarius, let the sun shine in. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. There's no peace coming. Everything's getting darker and darker. And the only peace that comes is when the Antichrist rises from the dead. You got to kill 2 billion before that. So they're not killing 2 billion before June 24th. It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So is it the dawning that begins to take place? And then when he comes back, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods, or they're getting rid of Christians is what they're doing. Golden living dreams of visions, mystic crystal revelation, and the mind's true liberation. From what? From God. Yeah. When the moon is in the 7th house, Jupiter lines. Okay. So interesting. Let the sun shine in. And you know, when I pet goat, he's like going towards that sun. So all it does boil down to the sun god and all that, doesn't it? Babylon Watch. I'll tell you what, folks, I got really into some very serious stuff last night, learning about the goddess. And Babylon Watch and or his other channel called Daylight Writers. Let me find what all I was getting into last night.
What a thing, isn't it?
I got into this
All
one.
right, now think of,
and I listened to it. And it's 12 minutes of this guy talking. I don't know if this preacher that's talking understands God doesn't love everybody, all of that. And you can go down and read the description. It's basically Gnosticism, Gaia, Sophia, Mother Nature. But he tells the story that I learned through this other guy that, let me find that from his channel also. So I'm going to share this other one with you also. It's called Christian Gnosticism Exposed by Michael Heiser. And
is going to have some kind of interaction with the material. The Sophia is an extraordinarily important figure, an extraordinarily important.
So this is the mother goddess, or Sophia, who spawned in their world our God, who is this crazy God that thinks he's the only God. But he was, in their world, created by Sophia, who lowered herself to the material world, living in the material world. And there was that song, I think, by Sting, "We are spirits in the material world." So
aeon to the Gnostic system, the way they understand reality. Sophia is the lowest aeon. You'll notice that I have her chin right on the red line. That is because Sophia was sufficiently far down the line.
whoops. I'm just cranking it up a little more. She was so far down the line. She was the lowest of the aeons. So they've got this light. Okay. And this light, or this true God, creates these aeons. And then the worst or the lowest of the aeons was Sophia, and she lowered herself and broke off from their protocol and spawned our God, who then created this crazy world.
Enough that she was close to the material world, and she's going to have some kind of interaction with the material world. She will, in fact, transgress the boundary.
Madonna, again, living in the. So I want you to listen to that from him and this guy. I want you to hear this one too from this guy. I'm going to put them both in the description for you.
About his position. The position that Irenaeus takes is absolutely opposed to Gnosticism, Luciferianism, however you want to describe it, we find it. His position is absolutely opposed.
Boy, that's really fast, isn't it? But I'll put it to 175, skip around a little
And
bit.
he does everything within his power when he's on this earth to show the world what a wicked, vile, godless, corrupt thing that Luciferianism is, worshipped there in North Africa. That's important. I mentioned the Queen of Heaven to you.
Queen of Heaven. It's all about Queen of Heaven, Queen of the universe.
Down the line. Don't you think that's remarkable? Now, there are those evolutionists that'll say to you, I have no idea. I mean, it's just,
You know, who created the earth. And it's I'll tell you what, it was totally worth my time. So I wouldn't share it with you if I didn't think it was totally worth your time too. I probably need to re-watch his again. And you have to understand what the enemy believes. They believe in this system. And because it'll help you see their world. You'll understand why they pop up a Christmas tree. And it's not just this stuff isn't just about the mother goddess. This is kind of a deeper level of Gnosticism. That's why I really want y'all to watch it. Let's get to my prep. First ever Saturday Night Live, the first ever SNL, which is Studio 8H. It does land for us on October 11th, 1975. That's when it's inception. What a crazy time of year. Usually, you know, the new shows begin in August, September, right? Or September, middle of September, late September, I think. I don't watch TV shows anymore. But back when I used to, you know, the last one I did again was Celebrity Apprentice. I mean, I was a big fan of Donald Trump. I just thought Donald Trump was like the coolest dude. Like when he'd come on Howard Stern, which me and Michael both listen to Howard Stern, it's hilarious. When Trump was on there, man, I was glued in, you know. And so the Lord didn't just pull me out of astrology or that Roman pagan church or believing that God loves everybody, the free will hippie Jesus. The Lord pulled me out of having to be a big fan of what we come to find out is going to end up eventually being the Antichrist. So the show starts, but the Apprentice would always pop off, you know, late September, mid-September. That's when they would start their new season. They call it their fall lineup. And but here it is starting on October 11th. Saturday Night Live begins. It lands on May 17th directly, and it does back into, if you include both dates, our illustrious May 16th date. And it was Studio 8H, Saturday Night Live, always has been, always will be. 8H, or H is the 8th letter, so it's Studio 88. So we're tracking that also. I did get everything up to speed. I've got 94 lines here. Over here is 93. Well, why is this one less? Because we don't have a top row that explains everything. So everything that I've got loaded, I have in alphabetical order, and we'll keep them in alphabetical order. I just don't have this thing that says story, backdrop, prominent date. This one here has like prominent dates, which I have begun to now include in this alphabetical one. So the alphabetical one will be the one we go on. We don't have anything popping up until May 6th or May 7th in how we're tracking things, which are based off of eclipses. Now there's eclipses out there, of course. The majority of eclipses we don't have here. I mean, you can go back, I don't know how far back that thing goes, but I think Michael went back to Abraham Lincoln's assassination. So how far back does it go with eclipses? Well, we've only got like 30 eclipses maybe loaded. So like I told you, there's an eclipse that will hit on every day of the year. There's an eclipse that would land on May 6th. But we kind of think when he goes down, it won't just be an eclipse. It'll be an eclipse and something else also, like a release of Back to the Future. You know what I'm saying? It'll be something else also. So the big day we have next is May 6th, May 7th, which are, and the reason why you have May 6th here is if you include both dates. It's the October 2nd, 2022. It's us going backwards from this coming October 2nd, 2022, which is the 34-year anniversary of the Donnie Darko date. And remember, after, when does it begin? Let me think for a second. Yeah, beginning March 1st of this year, it's a complete overlay of 1988. 1988 was a leap year, so it's not the exact overlay in January and February. From March on, it's a perfect overlay of 1988. So that's when 88 began, and of course, that's when the first planets lined up, was in March, and they're lining up again. And so, well, this May 7th or May 6th, if you include both dates, does bounce off of this October 2nd, this upcoming October 2nd date. May 7th or May 6th, if you include both dates, does connect to the April 4th, 2015 blood moon eclipse, which there's a series of 4 of those that took place. It was in 2 in 2014 and 2 in 2015, but it was blood moon, blood moon, blood moon, blood moon. And they called it a tetrad. And they all landed on Jewish feast days or Jewish holidays. So they're meaningful, possibly. And then my second wife's birthday. Now, the thing about my second wife, we've shown you many times, but this is very unique. Again, her number 10 times 28 times 1973. When you times her by this year, you do get the deadly wound. You get the 1117 along with a 33. And there's the triangular number for, well, there's 8, the triangular number for 36. And there's 36, the triangular number for 666. And we do suspect that maybe she might marry finally, which really throws us into quite the category, which if and when that does take place, I'll go back and show you how Trump is 888 or Donald J. Trump is 1189. 89 is her next marriage number, which has not happened yet. Or 888 would be her third. That's because 8 is her single digit marriage number. So she would be 888, as I was 88. Two different ways I was her 88. Or I was involved in that marriage. Again, this is a language just the Lord has shown me which began since I was a child and had just grown and grown and grown into now today. We see why he's always wanted me fixated on numbers and the story. And I always feel like something to do with that world will have something to do with when Trump goes down, along with an eclipse and along with maybe like a movie release date or something. So also on the 7th, we have a total solar eclipse, which took place over a 2-day span, depending on when it hit, what part of the world it hit on. March 17th, March 18th of 1988. So May 7th, it's kind of a big day, or call it May 6th, kind of a big day. Okay. And now this solar eclipse does cover a 2-day span. So it could be a May 6th. If you include both dates, May 6th, May 7th. If you don't include both dates, it's May 7th, May 8th, since it does cover a 2-day span. Don't worry, at least I know how to read this language here. So you couldn't include them all in a column. So anyway, May 6th, and Trump does have a rally on May 6th, which was when my mom passed. And my dad wanted to die on that date, so he took his life and was found on May 7th. That's what's on his death certificate. So, and then Earl died on May 8th, and I'm looking strongly at May 9th because it's just a progression of it. So but really the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, boom. I'm into all of them. Let's go. I think we're all ready, right? So we have eclipses that bounce off of all of these dates, starting from May 6th. So just after Cinco de Mayo, hey, let the earth dwellers celebrate one more time, and then boom, here we go, right? May 6th could be, May 7th could be, May 8th could be, May 9th could be. The Track Down episode release date was on May 9th, 1958. Boom, right? So from the 6th to the 9th, I don't want to include just, the old numbers 6 and 9 are 96. But that's in our wheelhouse big time. We know that the 14th is super big. It's when Trump turns 9/11 months old and Israel turns 888 months old. Right then, boom. It also connects with when I got hit by a paper airplane in the right eye, May 14th does. The parallax view release date bounces off of it. A politician getting killed. It was released on Trump's birthday. It is one of those tetrad blood moons, bounces off May 14th. A total lunar eclipse on my dad's birthday, 1978, bounces off May 14th, if you back it up a day. If not, we'll just go with that moves into the 15th. So then we get to the 16th, which of course is loaded. Well, I'm not even going to read them all now. It's ridiculous. That's the largest number right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 different lines that we have for that date. 10. Because you're able to include both dates. So since you can, then we do. We won't even bother until we pass all of this other stuff. Okay. But that's what we're looking at. That's where we're at. Let's go back to the prep. My anniversary for the process / calling and May 18th. Okay, April 13th, 2012, the day the Lord called me out of the world / started that process. That's when I made that declaration that I am no longer going to have anything to do with astrology or numerology, things I was knee deep in. And I was no longer going to have anything to do with the pagan Roman church, which I still consider myself a member of. Boom. Even though I was just reading the Bible out of New Living Translation only, which most Catholics don't do, and I didn't practice Catholicism. I was not a practicing Catholic. I was raised in it. I was confirmed in it. I was baptized in it. I went 8 years to Catholic school. I still had attended their church and had no problems with being in their church. I went into one for my 97-year-old aunt's funeral, and I was creeped out. So the Lord's brought me that far along. Should I have gone? Probably not. Should have just told them all, you know what? I don't take part in your pagan Catholicism and just let them hate me. But I went, and the Lord in his own way will have to purge that out of me, right? I mean, yeah. So very uncomfortable, I will tell you, very uncomfortable and creepy. And you just can't believe what the Lord's done for you to call you out of that stuff. So April 13th, 2012, the day Lord called me out of the world, it was from watching the Know Your Enemy series. And then the 10-year anniversary of when I turned that 22196 days old, which is in Trump and I's combined number. That anniversary of the Lord calling me out of the world on April 13th, 2012, bounces or hits right on May 18th. So I included it, I added it. It's the longest thing I've got written, because on that 10-year anniversary of the Lord calling me out of the world was the exact day that I turned that 22196, Trump's number, my number. It's your year times your month times your date. And there's 22196 right there in Trump and I's combined number. There's a 322 in the middle of it. A friend of mine turned that many days old. 33 days before I turned that many days old, and 33 days after that lands on our what? On our May 16th date. It's pretty fascinating. So let's continue. September 9th is 7-9 also. We have to also not just look at July 9th and him rising on the third day, the biblical 7-11. September is the 7th month, octagon, octopus, 8 legs, 8 sides, 8th month. October was the 8th month. September was the 7th month. So wouldn't rising on 7-11 be September 11th? Is that what it was all about? Then he would go down this year on September 9th, 99. Remember, Agent 99 and Agent 86 from Get Smart. And that song, 99 Luftballons, which, I don't know, Into the Stars made a big deal about. We have got to focus on September 9th. September 9th bounces off August 3rd when I totaled my car in 1978. It's the only time I've ever been in any kind of car accident like that. Well, when Trump goes down, it'll be a car accident. It also bounces off June 27th, for whatever that's worth. I'm sure we've got days that'll hit off that. Then it bounces off May 21st. May 21st. So what all, this is what would bounce off of right now, this is what would hit on September 9th, which would also lead us into 7/11. Potentially. Remember, they released No Time to Die on October 8th. That was not 10/8 coding. That was 8/8 coding because October 8th, 88 coding is what it was. So they're telling you they use this coding. So is that movie 61 really about July or 7/9? Is that really about July 9th? Or could it be about September 9th? So I'm turning 61. I was born in 61. Roger Maris hit 61 home runs in 1961. The movie was called 61. If you go from 7/11 to 9/9, it is 61 days if you include both dates. It's just something I wanted to look at. Not dogmatic about any of it, but let's look at what all that date of May 9th would hit on. The 22nd also. This May 22nd would hit on September 10th. You can back it up a day. You include both dates. So we're going to go from here to here. Okay. October 2nd, 1988, Donnie Darko date bounces off of that. A lunar eclipse does. Great. We got the eclipse. We got the actual Donnie Darko date. Lily from My Pet Goat. The Lord has had me following this Lily James. And I've been watching a lot of her movies. And so I said, well, let's track her birthday. She lands on that day. Trace McGrady Sr. That's his birthday. Remember, his number has the 156, which 9/11 is the 156th prime number, followed by an 88 in his number. This is the dad of the NBA Hall of Famer who I was the best man in his wedding. What else? The annular solar eclipse on August 22nd, 1979. Okay, the year I graduated, and Trace McGrady Sr. should have graduated, but he did not. And that's okay. And October 26th, 1985 is when they first went 88 miles per hour and on a car tag in James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only, that 10/26. So if you take the 10/26 of 1985, which is when they went 88 miles per hour, which is when Doc said, when this happens, you're going to see some serious SHIT, that hits on September 9th, if you include both dates. So you have an eclipse that includes both dates. You have an eclipse that does not include both dates. And you've got a lot of interesting stuff. Now, why does this thing say May 20, May 21? So that'll be September 8th, September 9th, which hits on our day. Trump and I's combined number has the 22196. I turned that many days. So I took that date. And now I'm also tracking that date when I turned that many days old, and it hits on May. So it would hit on September 8th. Then it says 11/17 of 2021, same as above, if including both dates. But if not, May 21st. I don't know. I'm almost confused by that. So let's just, my brain's not clicking right now on all 10 cylinders. So let's just move on. I think I followed it. Whatever. Let's finish out my prep. Channel flipping. I see the Twilight Vampire Saga. So I guess I might need to include these. I don't know. I saw there was the Twilight Vampire Saga, right? One was called Twilight. And then there was one called Name all the movies in the Twilight saga. There's Twilight, the Twilight. How to watch them in order by Rotten Tomatoes. Twilight. Twilight, New Moon. Twilight, Eclipse. Breaking Dawn, Breaking Dawn 2. So basically, what you're getting is just like Lord of the Rings, where you have the Fellowship of the Ring, which is the mystery Babylonian fellowship that they're all in, as they love Lucifer, the mother goddess. And then the next Lord of the Rings was called The Two Towers, which is the Twin Trumps. And then the final Lord of the Rings was called Return of the King, which is the Antichrist returning seemingly from the dead. So let's track their saga. Okay, Batman Begins, basically. Then you got The Dark Knight. Then you got what? The Dark Knight Rises, which is Return of the King. Same stuff. Then you got New Moon. We just experienced one on May 1st. Then you've got Eclipse, which takes place on May 16th. Keep your eyes peeled, right? So basically this video is about another kicker for May 16th or two. A little caveat with planets lining up when the tower fell last year in Miami on June 24th, but also my new date of September 9th. So we got to track them all. We got to include them all, got to track them all. I just want you to know that July 9th and September 9th are both extremely relevant. The reason I like September 9th more is because of the 99 Luftballons, or Agent 99 and Agent 86 from Get Smart, which the bad guys were called Chaos, which is when the chaos would begin on day 99 or September 9th. And that September 11th is when he would rise, right? And that's when they brought down the towers, because theoretically that's when in reality he would rise. So it's a rising and falling and a falling and rising, kind of a yin yang of the days, because they love that yin yang crap. So $23 progressions of 923. Not really sure what that was. It was something to do with how I wanted to look. I wanted to go back and maybe look at, is there anything that hits off, any eclipses? I guess I could check that real quick before I sign off. No, there's nothing that I was hunching on that was popped in my head that has bounced off that 9/9 date, but something might pop. There's already items that connect to it. So I'm going to put this down in the description, the Daylight Riders video, so you're going to understand true Gnosticism, which is the mystery Babylonian religion that basically runs this earth, and this other one that is extremely detailed on Gnosticism. You can listen to them while riding in your car. There's really no visuals about it. So brush your teeth, driving in your car, doesn't matter. All right. Love y'all very much. Oh, your comments. Hang on. Forgot to get your comments. Let's do it. All right. Hang on just a quick second. All right. So Christian says, when you mentioned the Kentucky Derby, I decided to research Secretariat Kentucky Derby. Secretariat 1973, a time of 1:59:40. 519, same date as we seek and we find. Yep, true that. Secretariat also set the record for the Triple Crown. Got to listen to that word crown, right? Triple Crown at Belmont, 224. The first day of the invasion, also my birthday. All right, very good, like it. Secretariat gave the finest performance of his, well, I think it's her career, right? I think Secretariat's a girl. Let me see. Could be mistaken there. Was Secretariat male or female? The voice didn't come on and go like, hang on. Secretariat was a mailman. Secretariat was a male man. Good job. I don't know why I thought Secretariat was a woman. Secretariat, like an ET, but it's an IAT. So nice job there, Christian. Thanks for schooling me on that. So his career at the Belmont Stakes, completing a 1.5-mile race in a record of 2 minutes 24 seconds, knocking nearly 3 seconds off the track record set by Gallant Man in 1957. He won with a record 31 lengths. Yeah, that was crazy. Secretariat won the Preakness on May 19th, 1973, with a time of 153 fish. Yeah. There's again, those are all my marriage numbers. May 19th, that's 519, because me and my first wife combined were 517. Candy was 518. Not to mention her and her kids came to 518. She was my 518. And is that my next marriage on the Bride of Christ? 519, 153 fish, because 53 is my next marriage progression. 15 is my next marriage progression. 153 is both, because my marriage number is 5. So it's 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. Or me and my first wife combined were 5-1. Next wife was 5-2. Next wife would be 5-3. So that May 19th, yeah. And 153 fish, what you just said, like hit on every one of them. It's freaky. Secretariat captured his first 2 starts at 3, but surprisingly lost his final prep in the Wood Memorial. He rebounded empathetically in the Triple Crown, winning all 3 in track record time. Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby in 153.25. Preakness 153. Time disputed, but then made official decades later. Secretariat completed the sweep of the Belmont Stakes by an otherly worldly margin of 31 lengths, 224 for the 1.5 miles. No other horse has come within 2 seconds of that time. Yeah, they said Secretariat had some sort of like a heart deal, like a super gigantic heart and lung capacity, if I'm not mistaken. Because I watched the whole, when they were doing the greatest athletes of all time, and included a horse, whatever. Secretariat was not perfect, officially winning 16 of 21 starts, but the Larian trainee was amazingly versatile. He arguably might have been better on grass, judging by his phenomenal scores in the Man o' War Canadian International. All right, good stuff, Christian. Thank you, sir. Kentucky Derby commercial says, run for the roses, Garland of Roses at the Kentucky Derby. The Rose Garland. Oh, this is the 148th Kentucky Derby, by the way. And 148 is Donald J. Trump, correct? And 148 is also the 4th progression of 37. Yeah, interesting, right? 148th running. The Donald J. Trump running. Yeah. And, they supposedly like give these roses. It's like a funeral, roses for a funeral. So you look at these funeral things, like at funerals, symbolic meanings of funeral flowers. So if he died on the 6th at this rally, and then it's the run for the roses on the 7th, It's all about the flowers and roses of the Kentucky Derby. I mean, it's something else. Why has it always been that? Well, I don't know. But if he goes down to the 6th, I think we'll know why. Interesting. Garland of Roses at Kentucky Derby. The Rose Garland, now synonymous with the Kentucky Derby, is the source of the nickname Run for the Roses. It has a history almost as long as the Derby itself. Also, the date May 7th equals, well, there you go. The number 5 and that letter G. Yes. That's very super interesting, Christian. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the Garland of Roses. Oh. The rose garland first appeared when the winner, Ben Brush, received a floral arrangement of white and pink roses. 1904, the red rose became the official flower of the Kentucky Derby. 1925, the New York sports columnist Bill Coroam famously dubbed the Kentucky Derby the Run for the Roses. In 1932, the garland, as it exists today, was the first introduced as the 58th running, won by Burger King. Like Burger King. Each year, the garland of more than 400 roses is sewn into the green satin backing with the seal of the Commonwealth, one of the end of the Twin Spires. Ooh, the Twin Towers, Twin Spires. Is he going down May 6th, the day my mom died, and the day my dad allegedly, give or take, killed himself late and found on the 7th? That'd be just freaky. Holy cow. That'd be crazy. The crown, a single rose, pointing upward, the center of the garland, symbolized the struggle, the heart necessary to reach the Derby's circle. The Kroger Company has been crafting the garland for the Kentucky Derby since 1987. After taking over the duties of the Kingsley Walker florist, Kroger began constructing the prestigious garland in one of its local stores for the public to view on Derby Eve. All right. Swearing in the Swiss Guards, May 6th. This is the swearing of the new Swiss Guards recruits. The Pontifical Swiss Guards protects the Pope and his residents since 1506. It's celebrated every year on the anniversary of the sack of Rome, which took place May 6th, May 6th, 1527. Should we track that date? Golly, that's an insane, I don't know. Hang on. So the sacking date, that's loud, isn't it? That sacking date of Rome is does connect with May 28th. Is there anything else on May 28th? It does not have a day, does it? May 28th has nothing. Wow, it needs a day, doesn't it? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. If y'all want me to include it, I will. Oh, Chrissy, good stuff, buddy. Oh, when Rome was sacked, the sack of Rome. Good stuff, Christian. Something I just noticed. I know I mentioned before, an iPet goat, the skeleton's ring, I think the aquamarine, it's a March birthstone. They emphasize the ring. Next in the fireworks, the first color they show is the purple amethyst. February. I was wrong. There are 5 fireworks. Well, that's okay. I was wrong. Sagittarius was a male. Red, garnet, which is January. Purple, amethyst, February. White, diamond, April. Green, emerald, May. Light purple, June. I have a link I'll include below to a picture of the birthstones that I'm talking about. All right, good stuff, Christian. I mean, things are lining up for old July for sure. September for sure. Nikolai Petrovich equals 201, birthday July 11th, 7/11. That's who is supposed to be in charge of Putin when he undergoes treatment. Also 75 full reduction and 96 reverse reduction. Nice job. Well, we like the July 11th for the rising date, or September 11th for him rising, because it's coding for 7/11, which means he would go down 2 days before July 9th or September 9th. We need to keep an eye on those dates, and we will. We already have found out we've got eclipses that bounce off both of them. Perfect. YouTube hid one of my comments. Can you see if it's about Secretariat? I don't know, my friend. There's held for review button over here. I don't see nothing. And you just disappeared. All of yours just disappeared because I had given him the heart and the thumbs up. So Migger says, do you remember that episode of The Simpsons when a character very similar to Trump died? I haven't seen it, but someone said that in that series, it was shown that he faked his death. That is fascinating. So that Trump in the casket Simpsons, Donald Trump in the casket Simpsons. So when we look at this, this was actually a man, truth behind Simpsons predicting. So it's this man that faked his death. It wasn't actually Trump. Okay. That is fascinating. Wow. The Simpsons when a character very similar. So it was a character. That wasn't Trump, like in a dream or something. That was, man, I learned all kind of stuff. Secretariat and Simpsons episode. That wasn't Trump in the casket. It was a person, and they drew him to look like Trump. Well, when did that air? Because I'd like to track that date. Y'all, fantastic comments as per usual. Be sure to look in the comments for these two, so you can learn Gnosticism. Love y'all. Learn about it. You don't want to learn it to know it for your. You don't want to be a Gnostic. You want to learn it how not to be a Gnostic. You just want to see what they believe. Love you.